So a couple months back, I was woken up out of my sleep, and I didn't know really what was going on. I just hear my daughter, my 5-year-old. She's standing outside my bedroom door, and she's upset, and it's like there's a noise, and it's tink, 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 tink. Like, what is going on? She's having some nightmares. What is happening, little girl? You know, tink, tink, tink. So I get out of bed. I'm like, I have to investigate. I go into her room and I listen and I hear this tink, 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 tink. So I turn the light on and I look, and lo and behold, her ceiling is leaking. Now, I stay in Philadelphia and we get all of the weather. I mean, maybe not all of it. We don't get tsunamis and things like that, but we get, the 4 seasons. So it's winter, and there's been a blizzard, and there's been a whole lot of snow falling, and it's accumulated on my roof. And I think a while back, maybe we had some kind of leak from a different time, but we thought we fixed it. We had somebody come. Anyway, now there is a lot of moisture of water coming down into my daughter's bedroom, and there's no way she's going to sleep with this. If you've ever heard the drip, it's like plop, 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 tink, tink. So I think this is probably like 2 a.m. And I'm like, well, I got to figure this out so I can get back to sleep because I'm tired. I need this little girl to go back to sleep, and she shares a room with her brother, so I need him to not be woken up, him to be sleeping. So I decide, because we don't have any just random buckets just sitting around their room, but what we do have is an infant bathtub. So, from back when my daughter was an infant, so I drag out the infant bathtub, I put it there, but you still hear this plop, plop, tink, tink coming. So I'm like, what can I do? I'll put some towels in it, but you still hear it. And also, it's 2 a.m., so I'm really not using the most rational, reasoning and logic and common sense. And so I just kind of am thinking, like, what can I do? What can I do? So at this point, I wake my husband up, and I'm like, so there's a leak, and it's bad, and I got the infant bathtub, and I got the towels out, and so now what should we do? And then he's just kind of like disoriented. Okay, what are we doing? So, he goes and checks it out, and then he has this brilliant idea. Now, my husband's from the continent, from Africa, and so he has other ways of thinking about things sometimes, which is great in these situations. He's like, we should get, this basket. So in my kid's bedroom, there's a play kitchen, and there's a basket of food and fruit of pretend stuff. And it has it's wire and has squares, it's mesh sort of. Because then it'll, this is science now, it'll displace the droplet. He doesn't use that word, but I'm like, oh, that's what he's needing this for, is to this, to spread out the water. Okay, so I get that. And then he goes back to bed. And then I think, there's other things kind of like that. Loofahs. So I get a loofah. And also it's 2 a.m. Remember this. By now it's probably 2:30, almost 3. So I get this loofah. And also at this point, I think I decided I should use a duvet, a comforter, and put that in the infant bathtub. The bathtub's kind of big for a bigger infant, I guess. So I put the duvet in there because it's 2 a.m. And I'm like, this will, spread the water out even more. And then I set the basket on top of that. And then I set the loofah on top of that. And then I'm like, maybe I should turn the basket upside. So I'm doing this whole thing in the middle of the night. And my daughter has now gone back to bed. And, I'm going back to bed. And I'm like, well, I hope this works. I mean, the basket thing, it was making less of a sound. And then my husband's like, should I go sleep in there? I'm like, what is that going to solve? So, yeah, it was a whole thing. I mean, eventually, yes, our roof got fixed. And in that time, I ended up telling the story to a friend of mine because he's a contractor and he helped us to get a roofer. And he tells me, he says, Katrina, you should start a podcast. So here we are. And I'm doing this podcast, and it's called Is This My Life? Actually, I don't think that's what I said it should be called. Oh, I remember now. I was going between titles. That doesn't really matter. But are you for real right now? Because in the middle of the night when my daughter is waking me up at 2, I am thinking, is this my life? But I'm also like, are you for real right now? And if anybody could have witnessed all those things with the basket and the loofah and the comforter, the duvet, they might have been like, are you for real right now? You think that that's going to help? I mean, it kind of did. Anyhow, so here we are. And I'm going to just tell stories about what it's like here in this place with my children, with my family in Philadelphia. And right now we're in the winter. So, we had this blizzard and it made my roof leak. And that was like, as a homeowner, that's a little stressful because you're like, what's gonna happen? And it's your children's bedroom. You're like, what's gonna happen to my kids? Are they gonna be okay? Is roof gonna like crash in on them? Like that didn't happen, thank God. And we got it fixed. And so, other things have been happening in this lovely time of winter. We did have a snow day, which that was cool. And but what's funny about that, as parents, sometimes it's not so cool because you're trapped inside your home with your children. We've got 3 kids, and I love my kids. They're so great. I've got a 1-year-old, a 3-year-old, a 5-year-old. We kind of had them boom, boom, boom. It's great. And I decided before the blizzard was coming, like, I'm going to prepare myself. Because how people are. They go to the store, they're buying it's like it's COVID again. They're buying all the toilet paper, they're buying all the canned goods, they're buying all, like, waters. My husband's like, just get a lot of water. I'm like, it's not an apocalypse. We're going to live and not die. It's just some snow. Remember, he's from the continent. And he's from southern Africa, so he has not experienced all those kinds of elements. It's kind of rainy or dry. So, people are like panic buying. I went to the grocery store, I did buy some things. Not panic buying, we just needed more fruit. My kids eat a lot of fruit. So we needed, bananas and then oranges and the strawberries and the blueberries and all these things. So I'm buying all this stuff up. And then I also remember, it's a blizzard. I'm going to be trapped in the house. So I'm also buying Play-Doh, maybe some kinetic sand, just some other, like, scratching books that have the black and then the rainbow underneath. My kids can sit and do that for like an hour or so. Maybe not that long. Let's say like 30 minutes. And so I'm getting all this materials. So, okay, great. It snows. We're in the house, my children, and it's a lot. And I don't want them to just be glued to a screen because that's not helping anybody. So I decide, we're going to have an obstacle course. So I find some cones in our basement. I don't know why we have these cones, probably some birthday. I find a hula hoop, a bouncy, like a larger kind of red, kind of 4 square ball, like recess playground ball, a bowling little kit, and I set up this whole thing. And these kids, they're like bouncing the ball around the cones. They're hula hooping. I even made a hopscotch in my kitchen. They're hopscotching through the thing. They're doing all things and I'm cheering them on. Like I've lost my mind. I have some pom poms and I'm like, yes, get it, go, go, go. And we're playing the Eye of the Tiger. We're playing, just all this music to get them all riled up, Space Jam, all this stuff to be like, yes, come on, go, to just let them get tired since we are once again trapped in the house. And that at the end we had an awards ceremony, and I gave them some medals that like we got from different races, from different like events that my husband and I had participated in, like 5Ks and things like that. So my daughter got one from the hot chocolate run, and my son got one from I don't know what, but it was red, white, and blue. And he said, and I am Captain America. So, winter will bring out Captain America from your children, which is great, and random obstacle courses. So I think my final thing that I will talk about on this one is, in my theme of winter, is when we finally weren't trapped anymore. And, we went back to school, did all the things, and the snow has started to melt. It's raining a little bit. The paths are cleared up. And we, tell the kids, we're going to get on your scooters. We're going to take a walk. Yes, I shoved some snacks in my pocket because it's supposed to be like just a short walk. We get out there. Hooray. We put the youngest in the stroller. We put my other 2 on their scooters. Helmets on because we care about their brains. Got to protect those things. So, yeah, we're out walking in our neighborhood. And, of course, my middle son, he trips and falls because that happens. And he like busts up his lip a bit because it's a pretty bad fall. I don't have any tissues or napkins. Like, that's kind of a mom fail because we're supposed to always just be having napkins in places. I didn't have any of that. So I think I used my sleeve a little bit and just my hand because that just was there. Because his lip is just like, there's a lot of blood happening. And like he bit the inside of it. And I'm like, did he bite through his lip? No. So then I get some snow because not all the snow has melted, and I like kind of dig down a little bit. I'm not like a monster. Like I don't just get the top level of snow because who knows what's on that. I dig down a little bit. I get some snow. I put it on his lip. He's getting it. I'm like, it's like working like ice, right? So then we make our way. We stop, have the snacks that are shoved in my pockets. We go to this other store. We come out. We're coming back home. And then my children want to race each other. And thankfully nobody fell. But it has snowed. And people have been out and about sometimes. And like during the snow, people have to go every day for certain things like walking their dogs. And those dogs are like doing their business. Like that's why they're out there. But in the middle of the blizzard, I think people just got lazy or just didn't want to just do their, like civil duty of cleaning up those things. I guess, isn't that what curb your dog means? Anyway, they weren't doing it. So the snow is melting and just revealing a lot of stuff around the ground. And, my son, being my son, just takes his little scooter off to the side to where probably the dogs have done their business. And then he's like coming back around. And I noticed like there's a leaf stuck in his wheel. So I get his scooter and I try to get the leaf out. And then I realize on my hand, I'm like, oh my gosh, what is on my hand? Yeah, because he had went into the side. I didn't realize like he went into the dog poop, but he must have. So like at this point, I'm now a biohazard because I've had blood on my hands. And now I've had poop on my hands from the dogs because I'm just trying to get clean off this scooter of his. My husband's trying to help me. I'm bringing sticks. It's a whole thing. And like, that's just something that you do as a parent. That's a whole lot. And like, part of that is just because people, in the snow and the blizzard, they just were a little lackadaisical with their pets and didn't clean up after them. So anytime we're on a walk these days, it's like, watch out for it, don't step in it, don't you do it. So yeah, and that, those are some lovely tales of this winter. I mean, I've got a lot more, but I can say that for another time. Again, my name's Katrina, and I'm just going to be telling some stories about my life. And like the question really is like, are you for real right now? And really, people, can't you pick up the poop after your dog? You're for real right now? You can't? So I have to be digging out on my kid's scooter? Like, that's disgusting. I mean, thankfully there's hand sanitizer and soap, and like everybody's fine. And and I will leave you with this. So after all that happened, later on, my middle son is like, Mama, Jesus is frozen in my heart like this. And I'm like, what is he talking about? And he says it again, Jesus is frozen in my heart like this. And I'm like, okay, man, so, okay. He's like, because I ate that ice, the ice went down my throat. So Jesus is in there like this. And I was like, okay, yeah, that's logic right there. You ate the ice and went down in there, Jesus is in your heart. He's got to be frozen, I guess, because his ice is cold. Anyhow, that's everything.